Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Game Marmalade, spin-off of Game Jam. I'm Peter. With me this week I have...
Panda. Ibrahim.
And...
Henry.
Deliberately made Henry last
No.
Okay, let's start up with the news. Right, we're recording this on a Thursday afternoon, and in a few hours, Nintendo are finally going to be revealing the NX, or showing off a bit of the NX. According to Nintendo of Japan, it's just going to be a 3-minute video, at least from their the details on their stream page. But so it's likely to just be hardware. But I'm kind of excited about this.
It's going to be them pulling out of game development. So just a 3-minute video. The NX is our official protocol. We're closing down the studios.
Pulling a valve.
Yeah.
So to say.
Or Sega. That's basically what Sega did. Yeah. It's interesting the fact they're doing such a short video for it, and it basically means they're not going to be showing off any games at all for it. It's just going to be hardware, which, I don't know, maybe if hardware's the main selling point of it, like if it's going to be a Wii U type thing where like the controller is the gimmick, maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. Interesting to see.
Should be good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk more about it in a week's time.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up. Okay. Next up is another thing that was, it was announced a few days ago. Red Dead Redemption 2 was announced. It's going to be for PS4 and Xbox One only.
What about PC, Pete?
Well, they haven't announced anything for PC, but...
If it's like GTA 5, it'll be a year plus later.
Yeah.
Rockstar.
The thing is, I don't mind. I think they handled GTA 5 pretty well in terms of the online stuff. Like, obviously, the user interface on GTA Online is terrible, but, like... The game looks really good, and like it runs fairly well online, and the servers work well. So if they could do the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2, yep. And after the announcement, within hours, there was a petition to bring it to PC because it is 2016.
Need a petition. Gotta have it.
Cool. Next up, I thought we'd bring up to some... There's a few Overwatch stories, and we always like to talk about Overwatch on this. So... earlier today, I think it was either today or yesterday, the Endless Sombra ARG thing, augmented reality game, or whatever that stands for, it continued. For the last month or so, there's been a countdown timer on a website that's been running. It's just been going for months, and occasionally it's been speeding up and slowing down. And it finally ran out yesterday, and then all that happened was it revealed a website which people found a way to get into. It was like a login page, and there were some emails mentioning some more dates in the future.
Great.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, with these kind of ARG things, do any of you guys care about any of them? I don't think I've ever really...
I feel like it would be cool if they were finding out bits of details about the character, and it wasn't just here's another secret to point you to a date where you'll get another secret that will point you to a date until eventually they decide to release the character.
You need to have some payoff.
You got to have something along the way.
Yeah, because one of the other things that also changed for it is there was a very small update where there are bits of certain maps where Bastion can now stand, and he'll beep in Morse code, and it'll be either Sombra's name or the password for this website for it. That's kind of cool, but it's not revealing anything. It's just more...
Yeah, but did you know the character's called Sombra?
Yes, we also know what she looks like because of the leak.
I was more excited for that than... if that had come through the ARG, that would have been cool. Be like, we get to see the character design, but... No. To be honest, it just appears more and more like it's just going to be revealed at BlizzCon, and we've just got to wait until November.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just teasing towards this new character, but it's already information has already kind of been leaked that there's going to be a new character. I suppose.
Well, I don't see the point of teasing that they're going to reveal the character. Like you said, when everyone knows about the character, and if they're going to do it at BlizzCon, which is where people already expect them to reveal stuff, so it's just what? Yeah. Unless the people doing the thing, the ARG, can actually get something out of it. If they achieve a certain goal, then they'll release the information. I don't really get where the excitement is.
It seems to me like they had a plan to do this, and then this information got out, but they didn't decide to change their plan, just decided to carry it out anyway.
Yeah. One of the things I saw online, some person was posting about is he's imagining that the original ARG thing was just invented by just some intern they had working there, and then they didn't think, they were just yeah, go ahead, just don't reveal any actual information, not expecting everyone on the internet to pick it up. Yeah. Okay, and more Overwatch news. There's going to be quite a major new patch coming next week for the
Symmetra.
No, not Symmetra.
Oh.
It basically everyone accepts Symmetra
Oh.
according to the developer who
Jeff
posted on
Kaplan? Is that the guy?
it. Maybe
I
it might
think
have
that's
been.
the guy.
Yeah,
Does stuff.
but there's going to be major changes to a lot of characters. Not Symmetra though. The way it was described, it's basically a lot of reworks for a lot of characters, just like lots of small changes and like for individual abilities and stuff. And apparently, no change is likely to be leaving the PTR without being like adapted quite a bit. So it looks like because they said it's going to be a longer like cycle for it, so it's going to be in the PTR for quite a while. But it looks like they just want to try and mix things up a bit, which is quite interesting.
Like what kind of thing? Like, as in they're just going to change stuff to change how the game plays, or
I
like
assume
the
so,
meta,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's in a fairly fairly structured meta at the moment. Like, at least when you play online, you're probably always going to get. There's a few characters which will always appear.
Okay. So they're going to replace all of Hanzo's arrows with giant corners that he shoots, and you're shooting them round arrows this time.
Yeah, actually, it's quite interesting the way they're
Yeah.
like deciding to completely pull up everything they've got at the moment in terms of meta. But
It'll be cool. I'd be interested to play it. I don't know how they could change that much though. Like,
Yeah,
what-
I can't see them getting that far with changing the meta unless they. Well, the problem is if you make drastic changes enough to change the meta, then you're going to cement the meta into something else. Is the only issue.
yeah,
Well, Blizzard like making slight tweaks, like in Diablo 3, making slight tweaks each season that kind of changes how like class plays completely,
Yeah.
like from just small differences.
yeah. So like for like Diablo, it was less balancing and more just changing the feel of the game. So
Yeah.
each season was different rather than each season being more balanced. So.
I mean, I've completely supported every change they've made so far, even though some of them are
The
very
Hanzo stuff's
frustrating.
been confusing. It's been back and forth, and
But like, I can understand it.
yeah,
I mean, he's a really weird. He kind of doesn't. He's very disparate between pub and pro.
yeah,
Like the skill level just completely
yeah.
takes
Hanzo
him
is-
out of the game.
He's
Essentially,
not a very good character, but people hate him because he's got giant hitboxes.
Yeah.
Like, he needs them to be any good though.
and
'Cause
the insta kill
Yeah.
of headshot.
I don't know what they can do though, because he's a sniper character that has a very slow sniper projectile
Yeah.
against another sniper that has an instant
yeah.
shot.
Well, I feel like
So-
he's a character very similar to May in that like they're both not very good characters, and then neither of them are really going to see much play in like competitive or everything. But like in a normal game, if someone is good at playing that character, they're just infuriating to play against.
Yeah, I don't know why that people find. This is true of all video games, that people found good snipers more irritating than anything else. Like in Battlefield, in Call of Duty, people hate people who are really good with sniper rifles because they
Yeah.
consider it unfair for some reason when someone's like, I don't know, people have an expectation that someone with a sniper rifle shouldn't do as well on average as someone with a rifle, even if it's like a default weapon you can
Well,
select.
it's less unfair. It's more the fact that you're like kind of doing your thing, like not aware of them because they're really, really far away, and then you're insta dead. Nothing you can do about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I always felt that
Like-
way about like in TF2 and stuff like that. Like, the sniper, I felt the game would have been way more fun without a sniper in
I
it.
like the sniper in
I
TF2.
think all characters that are annoying in Overwatch are due to the fact that they take away your ability to play. And that is why May is so annoying.
But Hanzo doesn't do
And
that
that's-
though.
No, but
That's
as in
the
like
thing.
if you die in one shot, there are lots of characters
That-
which are annoying because you die in one shot. So like as Iv says, you know, you're doing something or whatever, but then you instantly die.
I
and
guess
there's-
the key is being able to understand what you need to do to improve against it. And a sniper rifle, it's literally like, I just can't go in this area of the map then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some
Or you
pub
pick-
games are so chaotic that it just ends up that you're like you have no idea where they are because everything's moving around so much, and then just every now and then you just fall over.
Yeah, well, the other solution is just pick Winston and then that person deals
Yeah,
with
pick
it.
Winston or Diva, fly at them. It's
Yeah.
good. But
I find it
yeah.
funny that people hate on Hanzos a lot, but you don't really get the same sort of thing as Widowmaker. Is it just because Widowmaker's not played as much?
She's
or-
not very good right now. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be very good to hit people in the head with her at the
Yeah.
moment. So she's like, yeah.
I think the other thing is that there are the two things about Hanzo which are annoying. One of them is the fact that it's always when you run around a corner that you instantly get hit in the head
Yeah.
because he's randomly firing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the simple geometry, which, come on, man, like that thing can deal like 500 damage
Oh, the
at
scatter
maximum,
arrow, yeah.
right? Like you fire at somebody's feet and you can kill Winston's almost from full. Like it is
Yeah.
ludicrous.
So just, he needs something though to deal with people who can get close
Yeah.
to him. The point is, like, speedy characters have to bait him to use it incorrectly, but you have to be good in order to do that. Like you have to predict it and dodge with Tracer or something.
Yeah, the number of times people like because of course the one thing is you're like, oh, I'm not going to turn this corner. I'm going to go into this building, and then that is also maybe not the best thing to do.
Yeah. It also, if you obviously a lot of people do sort of counter Junkrat's ult, but Junkrat specifically, if he fires the scatter arrow at the ground when your ult is out, your ult just dies like straight away. It's basically a surefire.
A single arrow destroys it.
Yeah,
a single charged arrow.
I think that's more of a problem of Junkrat's ultimate. Than...
Junkrat's just
Junkrat's ultimate
as well.
Junkrat's ultimate gets slowed by May's freeze.
It's like a character. Yeah, there's so many ways to deal with it. Like Roadhog and everything like stops Junkrat's ult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they'll change him and it'll be exciting.
Possibly, yeah. I'm just trying to think of
They'll give him
characters they may
sticky bombs
rework.
like in TF2. That would be so awful.
No, I'm expecting what they'll do is they say, we're getting rid of all of the explosives on him and he can use a sword and a shield now.
But we'll make it so that he takes 50% less damage than everyone in the game.
Yeah. Oh, God, the demo night in TF2.
I hated that update. That was my least favourite update of the game. But
yeah. Okay. And to finish off the Overwatch thing, I've recently been watching, I've still been watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, like the Marvel one. And in the most recent episode, over the last season or so, there's been an Australian character who has like explosion-based superpowers in it. And in the latest episode, he just continuously like uses Junkrat lines. It's He just uses loads of the voice lines.
Is he
that
actually
Junkrat
Australian?
has. Yeah, he's actually Australian.
It's not terrible American.
No. It's in like it's perfectly in character, and I feel like if you hadn't played Overwatch, they wouldn't.
That means
seem out
he'd
of place
sound
at
more
all.
Australian probably than Junkrat actually does. So
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, and then people will like think it was like a funny kind of like coincidence, and then the writer literally came on the Overwatch subreddit and was like, "No, this was all intentional. I just thought it was funny."
Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit dodgy? Or have
they
they
just
talked to
lines? I don't
Blizzard?
think they've.
I mean, they're just like voice lines rather than like.
It's like someone
guess,
saying
but it's-
"I am your father" in another show, and everyone goes, "Ha, that's from Star Wars."
Yeah, but I feel like Star Wars has been around so long that like you can't really.
Still,
Like if
still
it was
a license.
if it was a different game, then you're sure they're not kind of really competing with each other. So I don't think.
Oh, that's true.
The
I
next
suppose,
Paladin
yeah.
and Paladins update. Add all of the Overwatch voice lines.
Okay, moving away from Overwatch, I think we'll talk about a game that all of us definitely love: Football Manager.
Oh, I'm excited to play Football Manager in hard mode.
Football Manager 2017 includes a Brexit simulator.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, because football is going to be so fundamentally affected by what happens with Brexit in terms of like players getting work visas and stuff like that, that the developer of it was like, we can't just pick a single outcome of Brexit and just say this happens in every game, because say we go for like the hard Brexit type thing, and then the game doesn't reflect that, everyone will complain about it. So instead, they've developed a system where, according to various percentages, there will be different outcomes of the Brexit result, and trade negotiations will run as a separate simulation in the background while you're playing. So at some point, a few years after starting, players will be notified that trade discussions have begun. And then as it goes on, eventually you'll result in either... There's three like big scenarios it can be, where soft Brexit, where freedom of movement remains and all of them are like your players are fine, it doesn't make any difference. The second one is footballers are granted entertainer exemptions, where they're treated as entertainers.
What a load of bollocks.
Yeah, so you still have to apply for work visas in this fun video game. Or hard Brexit, which is hard mode essentially.
Where's the "we stay in the EU" option that
There
I'm
isn't
hoping
one.
will come out eventually?
Yeah. So basically, it applies all rules for non-EU players will be applied to non-UK
But I like
players.
this is. I bet you, even though this is just a sim, and they've gone, okay, these are the things that will happen. There'll be people complaining, going like, "You're making Brexit look really negative," and I'm like, no, this literally people will have to get visas if we leave freedom of movement.
I think it might be the opposite way, because I know that for Football Manager, like the system is so good that now like some like team managers or something are using
They
it
put
to help
adverts in the game
they
for
u-
hiring people.
Yeah, they use it to help like scout people because of like the way that they do it. So I'm thinking that like some university out there is going to try and use the Football Manager sim.
Well, it's been in a lot of news. Like I saw it on the Guardian, on the BBC as well. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was really surprised.
I'm confused because, like, did they actually say that people will complain if Brexit's not involved? Why does Brexit
No, it's more
have to
like-
be
No,
involved?
no.
It's
it's
the
more
wrong
like-
type of Brexit.
Say
Yeah, but-
the football like landscape where it changes completely. It's like some players can no longer play in a country, and your game just doesn't reflect that. These people really care
Yeah,
about the
like
game
Football
being
Manager,
accurate.
they're like it's a proper sim. Like
Yeah.
as opposed to being like
Yeah.
fun, I guess, in the conventional sense.
Yeah. Which also continues on. It's not just Brexit which is going to be simulated. Scottish independence is also.
Oh, this is amazing!
Yeah. So if the
What about
Scots...
Cornwall leaving?
Wait, is this game released elsewhere in the world?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
raced all over.
They'll
Like,
have no
it's
idea
so
what's
popular in
going on.
England, though.
Yeah.
Football Manager. Like,
I know it's
I mean,
popular here, but
yeah.
Well,
like,
also,
and
like-
Eastern Europe apparently.
Also, like
really?
the British League is pretty big in the football world.
Yeah.
So
But I mean,
things
people
that happen
don't
here
know
matter.
very much outside of this country about.
Yeah, but the people
Brexit
in
and
Eastern
all that.
Europe are going to know about Brexit, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Well, they'll know about it now. If anything, it's a good teaching tool.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
God!
if the
Why
Scottish,
teach them?
yeah, if the Scottish win their independence in your game, then all of those rules you'll have to get work visas for Scottish players as well. So
Yeah, I'll be fine.
They just start Scottish leagues.
yeah. And one of the funny things I found about it was I can't remember, one newspaper source interviewed one of the main developers for it, and his final quote for it was the developer warned people that the game will be harder if you get hard Brexit because UK players aren't of the same standard as EU players, and it will be felt over time that the whole game will become a lot more difficult because you can only get worse players.
No, the UK is great. The players are going to start making jam, and that will solve everything. That's what I heard.
Okay, next up, the Screen Actors Guild is advising all members who are part of their guild who perform as voice actors in video games to take industrial action as of tomorrow. They say that the main reason for it is like not being compensated for vocal stress, because video games especially require a lot of like
A lot of
shouting
shouting.
and screaming specifically. And compared to like the film industry, for projects with similar budgets, voice actors are paid nowhere near as much. Yeah, and discussions have been going on for a few days. I was just like, when I read about this, I was just thinking, because they compare it directly to films, it's fairly different in films. Like if an animated film or something has a certain voice actor, people will go to see the film because of that voice actor.
Only generally if it's an actor outside of that, though. Like,
Yeah.
people don't go see for specific voice actors. They go to see it if, like, Idris Elba is voice acting a character or something who they know from.
I mean, even in the world of like animated stuff, like Mark Hamill is really, really big.
But
for kind of
again,
roles.
people know him previously, like as in
I
they
guess,
picture
yeah.
him. You don't have that same mental image of other people.
Well, for like Kung Fu Panda, the fact that it's voiced by Jack Black was like a really big selling point for them. And
Yeah.
they like, advertised the hell out of it.
I think that is probably. I can understand some disparity in the payment because the people who are showing their faces and everything are giving their identity,
Yeah.
whereas like when you're just giving your voice,
yeah,
you're not
I feel
so
like
much...
it would be nice to see more interviews with like voice actors and stuff when people are promoting the game. Get the voice
Yeah.
actor that, like, if you have a voice actor that you like, because I saw like Resident Evil 6 was a terrible game, but before it was released, I was hopefully looking forward to it being good. And they had the voice actors at events when they were showing off the game, and it was nice to actually hear them talk about it and like their views on it.
Yeah. I just find it funny. There are like voice actors that a lot of people who pay attention to games are aware of. So
I was going to say, can we please make their slogan for this just say no, the North?
I was going to say Nolan North, Jennifer Hayter, and not David Hayter and Jennifer Hale. Those three people are the ones that most people are aware of. Because they've been in a lot. But I was just wondering, are they famous because people like them, or because they're in a lot of things?
For me, it's just everything.
Yeah.
And everything.
Well, one of the like Jennifer Hale's famous basically because of Mass Effect. Like,
She's in a lot of.
I know she's in a lot of
Yeah.
other stuff, but most people I'd say would know about her because there was a lot of noise made about how good her voice acting was in Mass
suppose
Effect.
so,
I think once again, fame like there's a similar reason for fame in voice actors as there is in it's people you recognise, right? So if you've seen their face when they've been acting in something else and you hear them, you know their voice acting, you'll know they're already famous, whatever. If you hear the same voice over and over again, you'll go, oh, I remember that voice from this game, and then stopping up.
Yeah.
Whereas like really good voice actors who change their voice completely in every single one, you'll never realise they're in multiple games until you like look it up and go, oh, I didn't realise they're in this game.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. I was just wondering if we'll ever get to a point where game companies will be spending that extra money to get voice actors that people will actually recognise, like even if it's either celebrities or just voice actors who are in a lot of stuff. I was wondering, do you think it will ever get to a point where people will care about that kind of thing? Like you were saying about Jack Black being like a selling point of Kung Fu Panda.
Well,
Sean Bean's bit was in Skyrim. Did
like-
anyone buy Skyrim because of Sean Bean?
Probably
That
not.
was a
Well,
bit
because, like,
early, I think, for.
Well,
I
and
guess,
Patrick
for his
Stewart was
thing.
in
He was-
Oblivion.
Yeah.
I think it's completely different because
Sean
like,
Bean was in Oblivion, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was
they both-
Oblivion.
they both
were
were.
both in Oblivion.
I thought he was in Skyrim.
No,
oh
he
yeah,
was,
no, Sean Bean was
he
Martin.
was Martin.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Both in Oblivion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like-
Patrick Stewart dies in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, I think
but-
I don't know. It's harder to try and sell a movie as opposed to try and sell a game, because the game you can focus on like the gameplay mechanics. You can focus on like the genre. Well, like it's actually no. Think about it, it's kind of similar to films, but like games, the way that it's advertised is completely different to films.
Well, I think games are very different to films in terms of voice actors, because in a film you've just got the voice acting, right? In an animated film, you've just got the voice acting, and therefore the main character of that film is going to be talking a lot, and so if you're familiar with them, it makes a difference. Whereas in games, and especially in that game with Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean, right? They don't act. There's not actually like that necessarily. In fact, if you could play it for 40 hours and never hear Sean Bean's voice.
That's
You can play it
true,
for longer
yeah.
than that and never hear his voice.
And
Yeah.
in like video games, typically you like have a lot more like characters involved, so you have like a lot more different voices. Or if you do hear like the same voice over and over, it's very generic. Like
Yeah.
like the Mass Effect, I will destroy you, which you hear a million times.
Yeah.
There's interesting examples of weird stuff with that. Like Saints Row had Keith Davids as Keith Davids in the game in Saints Row 4, which was entertaining. And then there's also like Call of Duty having Kevin Spacey as Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
In.
I was surprised, like, after LA Noire had all of that really fancy, like, motion capture and everything like that didn't really catch on, I think. I don't know if that was because, like, wasn't there that game that came out shortly after, the one with Ellen Page, Beyond Two Souls, like, tanked really badly? I don't know if maybe that put developers off that kind of thing?
That's a lot of money. Like, there are a lot of good voice actors, though, so why don't they just use their body models? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just as an example of somebody who doesn't get it, like how often is Tom Kenny in the spotlight?
Yeah, that's
That
true,
man,
actually,
he has,
yeah.
if you look at his IMDb credits, he's got alluded, like I think it's over 600, maybe even higher than that.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who, for anybody who doesn't know, who voices SpongeBob.
Yeah, as well as, like,
And,
a thousand other characters.
And like half the voices in that
Did
show,
not know.
and he just doesn't
Yeah.
get any credit. Like you never hear about him.
Well, I'm personally just very, very bad at paying attention to people's voices, because in Bloodborne you have this character who's like a nice character, but then like at a certain point they start becoming like kind of evil, but you never see them because they're behind a door. But it's because like they get killed and replaced with an imposter, and the voice actor changes, and they've got a different voice. And like most people don't like realize this. Like the actual voice changes because it's a different person.
That's cool if they hired someone that sounded similar but was, like, distinct enough that you could pick up on it. That's really cool.
Like in subsequent playthroughs, like actually paying attention, it's pretty evident.
Yeah. Okay. Right, before we go into games that we've been playing recently, I thought we'd talk a bit about the other day the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo came out, and it revealed quite a lot of stuff about the new game and everything. I've played it. Have you played it? Yep. I'm assuming neither of you played it or had an interest in playing it, but
I have an interest.
Pokemon's
oh, okay,
babies.
fair enough. Yeah, fair
I'll just
enough.
go to sleep over here for a bit.
Yep. Okay, for the demo of it, you play as one of the new characters in it, it's just called Sun in it, and you're given a Greninja.
The character
as
is
part of it.
called Sun.
Well, in all of the other ones, like in Pokemon Gold, your character's called Gold. In
Are
Pokemon...
they?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
canon
Oh,
name.
is
Yeah.
the character
Canon
called
name.
X in...
As in like
Pokemon X and
Pokemon
Y.
Red and Blue,
I remember those two, but I didn't
Yeah.
realise that applied to the rest of
Yeah,
the series.
it carried
wow,
on.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if it was the same in like Black and White. Like,
Okay.
What
Yeah.
about X and Y as well?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right, yes.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm,
sure.
I'm Y.
Yeah. You're given a Greninja at the very beginning of it in a letter, and it's implied to be from Ash Ketchum from the anime show. It's supposed to be.
I didn't catch that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
specifically because
Yeah,
in the
Bond Bell.
in the demo you do a battle, and at one point in it, the Greninja that you get given transforms. Like it has
Yeah.
a transform item, because they introduce like Mega Evolution.
No, this
stuff like
is.
that.
Oh wait, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, this is similar to it. It transforms into a Greninja called Ash Greninja, which is literally just... I didn't understand what was going on when I was playing
the way
game.
that it works
Yeah.
is that Greninja has a like ability that's
Yeah.
called Battle Bond, and if you're in multi-battle, if Greninja causes one of the enemy Pokemon to faint, then he turns into Ash Greninja, which is a Greninja with like slightly different like head, higher stats, and his Water Shuriken is more powerful.
Yeah, well, I looked up specifically why he like transformed stuff out. Apparently, was a storyline in the anime, and it wasn't involved in the video game at all. That's meant to be the connection to it.
Oh, that's
It's
pretty cool.
literally Greninja merging with Ash.
I was gonna suggest that as a joke. I was gonna be like,
No,
does
that's-
Ash turn into Greninja, and
Well,
that's why
They connect. It's weird because apparently in the show, when Greninja gets hurt, so does Ash. So Ash is like in
Oh.
fights getting like the
don't
shit
use
beat out of him.
Greninja in the fights.
Yeah.
There was a
Maybe
cool-
that's. Oh, no,
There
go
was,
ahead.
there was another cool thing where like there was leaked images of like I think this is real of Ash Pikachu, and it's just Pikachu wearing various Ash hats.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the things you get for it. Yeah. They also showed off a new thing which is called Z moves. They're just adding loads of weird things to like overcomplicate the battle a bit. But it's quite funny. In the demo, the only one you see of it is one from Pikachu, and they all have just ridiculous names.
Oh, God,
Pikachu's
yeah.
one is called Gigavolt Havoc, where it's literally just some massive like explosion move with loads of like lightning flying everywhere. It's
I was
so
just
strange.
imagining that as like an upgrade to a weapon in Gears of War or something
Yeah.
called that. But
It just sounds like the most anime thing ever, like something
Jeez.
from Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that in the actual anime. I want Ash to be like, Pikachu, go, Gigavolt Havoc. Be like,
Yeah.
okay.
Z-type
Yeah.
moves are cool. They're moves that you can use once per battle, and they're really powerful moves. So you just choose
Yeah.
when to use them.
Yeah. But one of the more interesting things they said about it that was revealed is the fact that the new game won't contain any gyms, like all the previous ones have, and won't use HMs, like the moves that you have to
Greatest
teach
feature.
them.
I love
Yeah.
that so much. Goodbye HMs.
Yeah. But I think it's quite cool. Instead of the HMs, they're using like riding Pokemon, which are specific Pokemon that do tasks for you, and like so you can ride on their backs.
Alright.
Yeah.
Mules.
Yeah.
Those already existed in previous games.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
separate to your 6 like battle Pokemon lineup.
It's like
Oh yeah,
Pokemon,
no,
yeah.
but yeah, that's
Yeah.
like there was a part where you like went on a rock Pokemon or something.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
In X and Y.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this one you can summon at any point.
It's
Okay,
very cool.
yeah.
And I think in the like end video at the end of the demo, you could see one riding the shark Pokemon in the water, and it looks
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff of the demo. The issue I had with it was I played through the entire thing and took 6 damage in total. Like, it seemed like,
It was
admittedly you were
meant to be
high
easy,
level,
yeah,
but-
because you were
It's a
7
game for
levels
babies.
above everything.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for the reviews for it to find out.
The Pokemon games have been getting increasingly easy.
Yeah.
Well, my plan for this gen is literally just rush to a Vulpix and then just do a one Pokemon challenge.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to wait on that, but
Also,
yeah, it seemed good.
the 3D looks a lot nicer than it did in X. Like,
That's true.
yeah, just the 3D models and just the camera and
I
stuff
was
like
going
that.
to say, I thought you meant the 3D, and I was like, you're actually using that?
It doesn't
No.
actually doesn't have any. I tried to
Not
use
surprised.
it. Yeah, as in it had it in X and Y.
Just
but
for the battles, though.
yeah, but it didn't work at all on mine.
I didn't even try.
Yeah, I'm just curious. But, yeah. Anyway, to finish off talking about Pokemon, also in this one, they showed there are like alternate forms for lots of different Pokemon that exist in it. And in the demo, they revealed the alternate form of Dugtrio, the one that's just the two the 3 moles in the ground. And the alternate form for it is literally just them, but in blonde wigs.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fan art. I saw a picture of that.
No, it's real. Yeah, the alternate form for them is Dugtrio in a wig.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
I love it.
That's amazing.
Anyway, should we move on to games that we've been playing this week then?
Sure.
Okay.
Henry, what have you been playing?
God. I've been asleep. You've been talking about Pokemon.
I'm sorry.
I've almost finished Doom. Almost. It's really good. Buy it, Panda. You were thinking about it, weren't you? So you
I was
should buy
looking
it.
at the deal earlier to like.
Is the
earlier
deal
last
still
night.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking
Yeah.
at it.
Very-
It's amazing.
So tempting.
The weapons are really good, and like throughout the game, you get to upgrade them. You get them as you go along, as you'd expect. There's a bunch of them, and then you can like use points. You get points for doing well in combat and various other things that you can spend on upgrading the weapons. And all the upgrades are just like for most of the weapons. Some of them are a bit boring. Like they're just like this weapon now pierces enemies, so it can hit things behind it. But most of them are like really fun stuff. You pick a upgrade between 2 paths. And at first I was really worried about that because I was like, but what if I want the other one? I don't know what it, like I haven't tried it. And you can just get the other one later. Like as long as you find the secret, like there are drones, you find them and you get the upgrade out of them by punching them, of course.
Yeah.
And then you can pick the other one, but there'll be things like the shotgun can either use an explosive shot, like so it has a grenade launcher on it, or it can do a triple fire, like it does.
So do you get both the
charge up
updates
shot.
at the same upgrades at the
No,
same
you
time?
get you
switch?
choose one, and then the next time you find a field drone, you can pick another one, and
Okay.
then you can toggle it whenever you want.
Okay, cool.
And one of the other upgrades you can get is making toggling upgrades faster. But like I found some of them I liked more than others, like the grenade launcher on the shotgun. I was like, what's the point in using this when I have a rocket launcher, basically? But like the rocket launcher has amazing ones, such as you can fire the rocket and then detonate it mid-air. So if you miss the target, you can detonate it, so you don't have to actually hit them directly. And then the final upgrade for that, the final upgrade for every weapon, you have to like complete a challenge. It'll be like the rocket launcher one, I think, is like kill 3 or more enemies in a single rocket X number of times. Means that when you detonate it, the rocket doesn't actually explode. It detonates like onboard explosives on the rocket, and the original rocket continues going. So you essentially have 2 rockets, and you can like abuse this against single targets by if you detonate it right before it hits, it essentially gets hit by 2 rockets. And like there's so much cool stuff in that game. It's really good fun, and I've just finished the Titan's Realm, and I've been playing the whole game waiting for this like robot guy who talks to you throughout the game to be like, surprise, I'm evil. But he's just kind of like been like, yeah, I'm a bit of an arsehole because I used Mars's hell energy stuff to power like the Earth, and then it all went wrong. But then he's like, but then I brought you to life, and you can go and beat everything up, so it's fine. And I was just like, okay, he'll be the bad guy at some point. It just hasn't happened yet, but I'm assuming in the very last chapter of the game he's going to be like, surprise. But maybe not. Yeah, it's very good, and like I don't know if you've seen like how you do the like glory kills on enemies, like they get staggered. I thought that looked really weird when I was watching people play it. Like you shoot an enemy and then suddenly they start glowing blue or orange, and you can do an insta kill on them. But it's really good in the game because it encourages you to be so aggressive. Like you get health out of them whenever you do it. So if you are low on health, the best thing to do is almost kill something and then punch it in the face. And...
A bit like Space Marine. Space Marine has something very similar.
Oh,
to
okay,
that.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's really good, and like you get other upgrades. Like there's loads of other things. Like you get runes that you can apply, and one of them gives you armor whenever you glory kill something and stuff like that. But it's really good. I think it would be fun to go play it again, but I'd miss some of the upgrades. Like later in the game, you get a double jump, which you don't start with.
Yeah.
And then you also get a rune, which is the thing I really wanted, which is lets you have like full air control at all times. So normally, if you jump, you'll keep going in the direction you jump.
Yeah.
And this one lets you just move any direction you like in the air, which just means in combat you can just fly around the place.
It's funny you say that, actually, because this was one of the news stories as well. I was going to wait to say then. You were saying yesterday about the fact that there was quite a big update to the game.
11 gig.
Yeah, 11 gig. That's actually the arcade mode they've added to it.
Okay.
And the arcade mode is it gives you almost all of the upgrades in the game, and then just puts you into a specific level and says like just compete for high scores.
Oh, that's wicked.
So yeah,
I'd like to play that. Like, what I will say is if you play it, make sure you get all of the field drones that let you get the different upgrades, because I thought some of them sounded like they'd be rubbish, and then they weren't. Like you get a minigun at one point, and one of the upgrades is that you can hold right click and it'll start spinning without shooting. Like that's an upgrade, and I was like, yeah. And then the other upgrade was it turns it into a mobile turret, and the picture of it makes it look like it's just auto shooting at things, like lock on. Yeah. And I was like, that sounds really lame. So I took the spinny one, which was really boring because it's literally just you hold right click and it spins the chain gun while you're not doing anything. And then later on, way later, I got the other one, and it's not that it auto-locks on, it's that it literally splits into 2, like, Gatling guns, and you just shoot it like you're on a mounted turret, but you're moving, and it overheats if you shoot it for too long. And it's amazing. It kills, like, almost any demon in the game near instantly, and I was like, this is ridiculous, but I didn't get it earlier, because it sounded a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a really good game.
How hard is it to find those extra upgrades, the hidden ones?
Easy at the beginning, and then it gets kind of like at the very end of the game where I am, I've started looking them up because it's just like you can almost always see them on the map. If you move around the level, they'll be like, oh, this area's grey, there's obviously going to be something there, but I don't know how to get in there. And then some of them are just like weird things, like there's just a lever that kind of looks like the wall at a point that you have to turn, and I was like, I don't like that kind of stuff, but like it's nice when you do find them. I'm not too fussed about like 100% getting everything, so it's alright, and it rewards you for getting more secrets, like with more weapon points and so on. But yeah, good game. I also started playing in the CSGO Newell again, which is been interesting. We won our first game 16-1 and then lost our second game 16-2, so that was good.
For people who don't know, what's the Newell?
It's Newell's the, what's it stand for? National University Esports League. So it's just a between universities competitive Counter-Strike league thing, and I think Southampton's got 2, maybe 3 teams this year, and it's the trouble is early on you get really unbalanced matches because there are so many teams, and then the longer it goes on, the more balanced you get. But it's good.
Ibs, what have you been up to?
I finished Devil May Cry 1 and I've started Devil May Cry 2, and that's been pretty fun, but kind of playing that slowly. But I've also been playing Dark Souls 3 because I lost my save, because
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have cloud save, seam save, or whatever.
Really?
It just
wow.
doesn't have that feature, and I didn't know it had this feature, and I formatted my PC a few months ago.
Oh.
And I decided to check on my character because the DLC comes out in like 4 days.
So you have to get to a position where you can play it.
Yeah,
again.
so I just made a new character, and I'm currently just running through it with Sam. But like, I'm so used to like on my previous save, like I had got to new game like +4 or +5, so I'm so used to just steamrolling through everything. So I'm have to like completely readjust my playing style to like being slow, careful, methodical again. Now that I'm super weak again.
Yeah. That seems really weird. It doesn't have cloud saves. I swear Dark Souls 1 has the cloud save for it because they brought it over to Steamworks.
Yeah, no, it does. I don't know why it doesn't. It's not like it's particularly hard. It's just a really simple file in your app data folder.
Yeah.
But that's gone to the wind now.
Weird.
I briefly started playing Farm Simulator, very briefly, because I was bored.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to play like Devil May Cry 2 or anything else, so I just loaded it up on PlayStation Now. And that was pretty fun.
I was going to say, did you pay for it? But then,
No.
okay.
It was pretty fun until like PlayStation Now green screened. I was like, I'm done with this.
Interesting.
I suppose that's a benefit of that kind of service. Like you would never ever play
I'll
that
never
game.
pay for it, but it's there.
Yeah.
I just got recently Dark Souls 2 because that was on sale, but I haven't started yet. I'm only going to play it through co-op because
Scholar of the First
Yeah.
Sin or just normal?
I have no idea. Whichever one was on sale, basically.
That's very possibly the Scholar of
Yeah,
First
but
Sin
if I'll be
one.
playing it co-op, it won't be as horrible.
Yeah.
Tell me if you need another person.
Okay, I have
like
one
to play
person.
co-op.
Can you only do 2 player? Or is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Isn't
Then
it?
you're welcome.
I-
Didn't they up the
don't
number
know.
for 2?
I think it was 3. There's 3 in 1 and 3, isn't it?
In
And
Oh,
then
I
in
thought
3,
one it
it's
was just
weird.
2.
It's weird because you can have. I think you can have 3 people summoned into your world, but it's split up into summoned and invaders.
Oh, okay.
And in certain areas, one of your summon slots is permanently used up by like the
NPCs?
area because in that area like a faction can just auto summon to invade you in that area, so that uses up one of those, so you can summon fewer people.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 in Dark Souls 2.
In that case, you are welcome to join. As long as you're not too madly overpowered. You have to make someone new, I guess.
Oh yeah, make someone new.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Vermintide.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
because they like every now and then they release an update, and all the updates they've released are pretty good actually. Because like the game. So if anybody doesn't know, it's essentially Left 4 Dead, but in
Are the updates
different.
like?
we're in Warhammer.
Yeah.
Are
the updates
It
like
is very
Left 4
different
Dead,
because
then?
there's
There's
not
a
many.
rat ogre.
There's a-
You don't have a rat ogre in Left 4 Dead.
So I was saying.
I was gonna say, are the updates like how they did it in Left 4 Dead, where it's like extra like maps for it or
So
storylines
it's
through it? Or...
yeah, so they did release more maps. Because the first thing they did is they finished the storyline. There's like a final boss. Then they released a cheap DLC, which has got some extra levels, which have done really well actually. They've also released things. So the reason that pretty much I would say the community has died for the game, and like still don't know why they haven't changed it properly. Is like there's a loot system.
Oh yeah.
Like so this game is actually like ludicrously hard on the high difficulties.
Yeah.
Like it is super hard, and like the only way to have a chance of doing it is getting good loot. And the loot system is at the end of the level you get to roll some dice, and however many things you roll, you get higher on the thing and you get better items. But that's not the only thing, right? So for example, on the normal difficulty, there's 3 difficulties above that.
Yeah.
You can only get. You're probably never going to get above a green item. It goes white, green, blue, orange, and now they've added red as well.
Yeah.
Like, I've got like 30 hours in the game, and I'm struggling to get above green in the certain items I want, and that's for one character. It is impossible to get stuff. But the 2 updates they released that were good for it there was one they released where you get these trinkets which make it more likely you're going to get items for your character that you're playing.
Wait, so when you
What?
unlock
No,
items
no,
for
no,
any-
Sorry. There's a chance you can get items for other characters as well.
Oh, God.
It's literally it is grindy as hell. And then they released some in that same patch. They released things where you can actually. You can break stuff down into stuff. You can break items down into materials,
yeah.
and you can finally turn those materials into new items.
Wait,
for
so
your
what was the
character.
point of breaking them down
you
before?
could only upgrade items using that.
Okay.
And essentially, to get an item of the next highest level, you have to combine 5.
Okay.
And if you combine 5 of the same item, you get the same item of the next level. But if you combine them with different, it's randomly which one you get. So, for example, if you really like a 2-handed hammer, but you're like, oh, I only have like 4 2-handed hammers and a crossbow, there's a chance you're going to get the crossbow instead of the next level. Either way, recently they released quests, which you can get items from and materials from, which just once again makes it easier to get stuff, which is nice. But it's still really hard, even though. Either way.
Okay,
It's
that's
good.
quite interesting that
It's
they
good
are
game.
still tweaking it. Then maybe it means that they'll release a Vermintide 2.
So, no, well, they've been saying for ages that they were planning on doing Orcs or Chaos next,
Okay.
instead of just Skaven
What things that just okay
as an enemies, like new enemies.
for the releasing as an
Oh.
update for the game?
Yeah, I think
I wonder
so.
how different they make them. They're not just like orcs running around looking like
Yeah.
rats, like really short.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
concerning. But
Yeah, I guess if they make you more powerful, then comparatively they'll be like the rats. I
yeah,
guess.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's already hard enough as it is.
Okay, that's interesting that the game has still got like life in it, and they are still continuing with it. Because I've just heard nothing.
They're adding good content, but it's still so grindy. Like all the people I used to play with don't really want to play it anymore because they spent 50 hours, and one of them still doesn't have an orange item of both of melee and ranged for his character.
Jeez,
That's kind of strange because it's like that's not like I just played so much Left 4 Dead and that didn't have any unlock system or anything like that, and yet I'd happily play its levels. I'd still play the game if people were interested in it, but yeah, that's kind of sad because I was a bit interested in that game, but I don't like grinding in games. So
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to be very disappointing. I've entered a holding pattern with video games now. I kind of need to break out of it a bit. It's basically just been I play Overwatch, Duelist, and then Life is Strange, and that's basically the only games I touch. I need to probably find something else to play. I'm nearly finished with episode 2 of Life is Strange. The problem I've been having with Life is Strange, at least for the second episode for it, was at the end of it, because it's sort of treated like a TV show kind of thing. They do a next time on this. And it basically showed the entire episode. I was like, okay. At the end of the first episode, there's like a preview thing of it, of like you in a junkyard. And I was like, oh, that'll just be the beginning of it. And no, the entire episode is you doing various things in the junkyard. And it shows you doing all those things in the intro video.
But did you make the same decisions?
I have a feeling that the decisions are going to be like, yeah. But
That's a shame.
there's a few things where I think it's starting to branch off a little bit. Like I'm getting like effects of stuff.
Could you just like tab out when it starts playing that? Or something?
Oh yeah. I would just have to be on the ball with it. It was the same as just like watching any TV show that's like ruins it.
Battlestar was the worst
That
for
was
that,
yeah.
where they would spoil the contents of the episode at the start of the episode.
Yeah,
not
flash
even
through
at the end of the
Well,
previous
it'd be like
episode.
coming up this episode.
Yeah, literally.
So-and-so was a
Spoilers.
traitor. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it would be that, and they would just not care. It would just show the entire episode for it. Yeah. I need to be more wary to actually avoid getting into these patterns of literally just like playing the same games
Don't worry,
over
I've
and
just
over
bought
and
The
over.
Witness, so I'll be able to talk about that.
Okay.
I can just cut you out for next episode. I'll pretend I'm you.
Okay, well, that was episode 5 of Game Marmalade. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back
With NX News.
NX News, hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Yep. We'll be able to talk for a solid hour about that 3 minutes of content.
It's content. Hashtag content.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, bye.
Yeah?
Yeah.